On Friday, Canada will play the USA for the second time in a week, but there's a lot more riding on this game than just national pride. World Cups happen every 4 years, and there's only 10 weeks until the next one, meaning that this group of athletes who have been together for 3 years will need to be trimmed down.
To be honest, it's just the harsh reality of the sport. I mean, when I step on the field, I mean, I may love the person that I'm competing against, but I'm just going to do what's best for me in that situation. And pretend that they're just another person that I'm going up against. If you let emotions and feelings get in the way, I think you'll disappoint yourself.
There's a reason Dr. Maria Gallo has 50 appearances for Canada. She's already been to 2 World Cups and has seen an improvement in her squad every time, but she admits that this year feels different.
It's kind of day and night. Like, well, first of all, the skill level is much higher. Also, we're more physical, we're fitter and stronger. You know, we probably said that about in 2006 compared to 2002. Do you know what I mean? So every time that there's that 4-year gap, I think we keep making gains. So I feel like we're our strongest, our fittest, and we're actually have the right personnel as far as coaching staff that are letting us read the game and use our attributes as opposed to implementing some sort of game plan that they see is going to work and then trying to fit us into that game plan. Whereas now they have, these are my players, these are, you know, what I have to work with. Let's just create something for them. And I think it's going to be a different experience than the 2006 World Cup. But to be honest with you, this is the first time where I feel like it doesn't matter, kind of like in the mix that we have right now, doesn't matter who we take. I feel like any one of those players can fill that slot.
Since 2007, there's been a core group of about 30 athletes who make up this team, but not all of them will go to the World Cup. Barbara Mervyn was in the mix for the 2006 squad, but she wasn't selected.
A few things that not making that team did. I think going to the World Cup prep camp, which was one of the toughest camps of my life, where I basically just tackled Jillian Florence and Carrie Steele over and over again, made me a stronger person. It taught me a lot of humility in the fact that I then understand what people go through, and so I also had a lot of support when I didn't make that team, and other coaches like Natasha Wesh helped me find my way and find what I needed to do, and that was rugby. And in the end, so since then I've just focused on playing rugby, not necessarily making certain teams, and it's been a lot better and more balanced in my life too.
Mervyn learned a lot, but she admits that not getting picked was really tough.
You've trained so hard, and you generally identify yourself so much as, I'm a rugby player, and then to get deeper, I'm a Canadian rugby player and I'm on the national team. So then when you're not selected for that World Cup, you go through some identity, like, who am I then if I'm not this? And it's hard because you put it in and you try not to take it personally, but you definitely do.
A handful of these athletes will face the exact same scenario come July. Compounding the issue is how close this team has become over the past 3 years, leaving best friends competing against each other for the same spot.
We're very close. I mean, obviously there is internal dynamics within the large structure itself, but I mean, on our days off or time off, we're all sitting together, all 28 of us, you know what I mean? And we don't just break off to our own little internal lives, or obviously we do have things on our go, but I think we're pretty friendly off the field, which I think that's going to help when, you know, kind of the shit hits the fan on field.
Brittany Waters knows that mixing personalities can be a lottery, but she thinks that her team pulled the winning numbers.
We all get along so well, it's ridiculous, and you never really know with a bunch of girls being thrown together how it's going to turn out. And you know, we're all great athletes, and we have all the skills, and we bring all these things from our other lives together, and you just never really know what it's going to be like. And we're very fortunate in the way that it's turned out. And I think, you know, that our dynamic is one of our greatest strengths, and it definitely translates onto the field. You know, with that closeness and support comes trust, and it's definitely something that you need.
This unlikely dynamic actually pushes Canada. The players work harder because they want to remain a part of it.
I'm doing them because I want to be part of the we, obviously, and so when I'm working hard or I'm taking care of myself, I'm doing that obviously to gain a spot, but I'm also doing that because I want to be part of this squad. I don't want to be part of the Canadian national senior team, I want to be part of these girls and be with them. It's not just that I want to play for my country. I mean, obviously I would still want to try and play for my country, but it's these girls and being on this team that is driving me, really.
The team chemistry sounds almost too good to be true, but the players believe it's what sets them apart.
I think that's what we have going for us. It's the fact that I truly love so many girls on this team, even girls that play the same position. And when you hear, like when they're listing who's been selected to start the match, of course I'm praying, say my name, say my name, say my name. But as soon as they do, my heart will sink because my best friend then isn't starting.
The USA test will be the last time that this group is together before selections are made for the 2010 World Cup in England. Getting selected means different things for different players, but one reason was the same for all of them.
Wow, it means a lot. It means, you know, hours and hours of hard work. It means all the choices I've made along the way and the people that have supported me. So it doesn't mean just things for me. It means things for my family, my friends, my teammates. Means the world. Yes.
The IRB requires that every nation have its World Cup roster selected by mid-July. Head coach Jonathan Long will select 26 athletes and 6 non-traveling reserves for his final roster. This means that when one game against the Americans ends on Friday, the waiting game will begin for this group of Canadian athletes. Reporting for Rugby Canada, I'm Meghan Mutrie.